Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure being here at MCC, and I've been here on this stage, this very stage before. 1 year back, came here as a student participating for various events and fests happening in MCC, and today I stand here as a speaker on the same stage, and it is a privilege to stand here. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. This is a privilege, and most importantly, good evening. I'm the last speaker, so I'm guessing most of y'all are really happy or not, but a little bit about me. My name is Anto Philip, a 21-year-old Bangalore boy. I have a very long nose and a long, and a long mouth. You guys will probably figure that out soon. And I'm also known as Tintin, Phineas, also Pinocchio. Yeah, a lot more cartoon characters, so to say, right? So people call me different things. I've been in the Bangalore circuit for known for a lot of things from college. Started festing when I was in my 11th grade. Started doing a bunch of things, and things really got interesting for me. I'm probably not very different from most of you sitting here today, but I have to tell you something very special about me. When I was in my first year of undergrad, I started my first company. It was called the Big Band Theory. And the Big Band Theory used to make customized wristbands, and over a span of 3 years, we sold 280,000 bands across probably all the cities in India. And secondly, this led me to something even bigger, what I'm proud of today and what I will be talking about today, something called the Under 25 Club. And we organize India's largest youth festival called the Under 25 Summit. What I want to talk about today is how most of us, or probably I want to tell everybody today that India has the world's largest youth population according to a UN report. Anybody has any guesses on the number of youth in India? All right, so it is more than any other country, 356 million youngsters in India, right? 50% of our country is under the age of 25. What does this mean? Right, this means that we have the potential of being the best country in the world. We have the resources to sort of bring everything together, to channelize it towards change, right? And towards the many stories that I've witnessed in the past few months, the past few years, I have a small mantra that I sort of identified from these people. And that mantra is very simple. It is to find a problem firstly, and then create a solution. Everybody here spoke about creating a solution to a problem, identify a problem, and this is the solution that you probably have. Something that interests me even more, right, is the innovation amongst the youngsters today in India. And that is very, very important, right? How many of you know about virtual reality, augmented reality, stuff that's been trending these days? Virtual reality is something that is changing the game in India, across the world, and probably every single big startup, the unicorn startup, every single company in the world is talking about it. A lot of innovation goes into it. A lot of innovation has come in the entire tech space, revolutionizing the way people use things today, right? And most importantly, by creating something, innovating that particular thing towards the problem that you face, and probably solving it to create an impact, right? Creating an impact causes a lot of change, causes a lot of effort to build that impact into people's mind. And this, because of this entire thing that I sort of understood, and the mantra that I've been following from different people who I've met in the past few months, I have very few, probably 5 stories that I want to share with you today, and how it's inspired me a lot, right? So this is Harsh Songra. Harsh Songra was born with dyspraxia, and when he was 9 years old, his dad and mom figured out that he was suffering from this disorder. What is this disorder? It is a disorder with relation to coordination, right? So Harsh Songra is 18 years old, and he figured that this was a problem that his dad and mom figured, or probably found out very late when he was 9 years old. He created this app called My Child, which lets a parent find out 11 to 24 months during the entire process of being pregnant, to understand what is, after being pregnant, after giving birth to a child, to understand what is going on with the child, and to create awareness amongst the parents to understand if there is any disability within the child. He is 18 years old, ladies and gentlemen. Next, we have another very big inspiration of mine, someone who I personally take a lot of interest and inspiration from, because I'm a musician myself, and to see Mohini, the 18 years old, ladies and gentlemen, a bass prodigy. I'm not even kidding you, she's here in Bangalore today playing for Aathma tomorrow at the NH7 Weekender. right? That is Mohini De. I'm talking about people who are creating a change with the time, with the limitations, with everything that they possibly have. But she has played with every single person that you possibly know as a musician who's made it in the industry as a bass guitarist for them. This is Mohini De. Next we have Arsha Dilbage, a very, very interesting story, something that is groundbreaking, something that's very, changing in the present day scenario. How many of you know about people suffering from Parkinson's, ALS, or something like this, right? So it's a very, very a sensitive issue. A lot of people, we all know about the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, how many people took part in this to create a change in this entire problem. Arsha Dilbage is a 17-year-old who has been selected for the Google Science Fair. And what he's created is going to astonish each and every single one of you. This device called Talk converts your breath into speech. Your breath into speech. He uses this technology called augmentative alternative communication system to create something like this, where you breathe into this device to create speech. Now I have a question to ask. What did you and I do when we were 8 years old? I'll tell you what I did. I used to collect money to buy Cheetos to get the Tazos. I used to buy Fatafat, play gully cricket, Lagori, a bunch of things. Probably Mario was my superhero, right? So things that I possibly did when I was 8 years old was something like that. But this child, right? This wonderful, wonderful person, Ishita Khatyal, 10 years old right now. She wrote her first book when she was 8 years old. And ladies and gentlemen, she is the youngest ever TEDx licensee in Asia Pacific for TED Youth, right? And you know what? It gets even better. Recently, about 1 month back, she spoke at TED Youth in New York, India's youngest speaker at TED, right? A big round of applause for Ishita Khatyal. These are the kind of people that we've been seeing in this entire ecosystem, in the people that we sort of take influence from, right? Angad Daryani. Angad Daryani was the first ever speaker, or probably the person that I heard on YouTube, right? Because of a lot of talk around him, about different people telling me about this guy. Angad Daryani is nothing lesser than an inspiration, because I'll tell you, at 15 years of age, he dropped out of formal schooling, right? And he went on to create India's first 3D printer. Today, every single person knows about what 3D printing is, how changing it is in the entire ecosystem among startups, among the hardware sector, right? He created the first ever Indian 3D printer. He also runs something that is very famous among the makers sector called Makers Asylum. He also takes care of Shark Kits, builds a bunch of things, and he's a beautiful person to talk to, spoken to each and every one of them personally, and I know how these guys have been creating, how these guys have been using their time to create something beautiful and interesting. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. These are just 5 stories in 5 million. Or probably 356 million, right? You and I know that the potential of our country, you and I know that youth in this country is innovating, is changing, is building something that is groundbreaking. But with all due respect, I'd want all of you to be John Lennon once again. Imagine, my dear friends, imagine, ladies and gentlemen, think about that moment when all the resources, you and I come together, all the youngsters under the age of 25, 50% of our country coming together to drive something that is very unique and interesting, to go forward, to do something that is groundbreaking, right? That is change. That is something that we all think, or we all should be able to understand. And the youngsters of this country are nothing but doing and going forward towards this direction. And what's very inspiring for me today is this entire sector of people under the age of 25 are going to create a change. And I want to be a part of this change, welcoming all of you to know what is happening in this ecosystem, to know about young student entrepreneurs, young creators, makers, doers, artists, musicians out there who are making a change in this universe from India, for India, throughout the world, right? And think about everything that these guys are doing, channelize it together. And I urge all of you to not just look at the surface, look beyond, look deeper to understand what works, what doesn't. And I have one request to all of you. Just look around. Just look around right now and just turn around and see the kind of people that you see in this auditorium. You probably haven't noticed this, but this, ladies and gentlemen, is what tomorrow looks like. This is the tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to everything that these kids, these young people that I shared about today, to see and experience, right? To understand and know more about these guys. There are a lot more stories. You and I have a story. I welcome you all to Under 25 Club, and to this platform that we've created. But most importantly, I want all of you to join hands and make sure this community grows and also helps people all around the world. And this last thing, this last gesture that I probably put together today, I usually like doing this on stage and, you know, probably ending my talk with something like this. Let's just imagine. We are the power. So yeah, before I thank everybody, so this one goes out to probably whoever is here. For all the students from MCC, this is for Sunni, and this is for Sunni, and this is something that I like doing on stage. I urge all of you to join with me and have fun during this small act that I'm going to be doing on stage. Check this out. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. This is Anto Philip. Thank you.